So I think trauma really is an experience. It's not necessarily the event, although the event might be quite catastrophic and intense and overwhelming, but it's the experience that stems from that event that really impacts the person in their world. And trauma is on a spectrum. What's traumatic for someone can be easily managed and dealt with by someone else. But I qualify trauma as something as um, sort of on a spectrum from attachment injuries, having a caregiver, having a mother who struggled with her own depression, with her own anxiety as a new mother, and was not able to respond to her infant in the way that she would have wanted to if those conditions were not there. And that leaves an imprint on the baby. The baby ends up internalizing the environment, that relationship they have with the caregiver, as maybe an environment that is not as welcoming or as trusting as they would have needed it to be. And then later on, those stories that children and adolescents and adults tell themselves as a result of maybe that interaction in childhood that between caregiver and themselves that wasn't ideal, those stories end up becoming these blocks and traps that people often find themselves overwhelmed by, and they don't know how to reframe them, they don't know how to reinterpret them, to understand that now as adults, they know they're no longer the vulnerable children who are hurt by their less than ideal interactions with the environment. But now as adults, as healthy adults, they have more choices. So in therapy, we really work on finding out what those choices are, on basically giving them tools to really learn and relearn who they are, who they want to be, and redefine their lives.